guys, so hopefully you can hear me over there. Mum and Dad are away. We had a bit of a sort out the other day, and we did the other Monday. This is Dad's Monday. This is 2014 whatever it is. We did the camp out, another one which is sitting outside, which you probably can't see. It's probably not in shot, but so what I'm going to do, I'm going to get this out here, and I'm going to set myself up so I can start working on probably these doors and the front of this Jag and stuff like that. I've got a little bit of welding to do on the front guard still. There's a few pinholes in there. But I'm just going to just a small rearranging here, and try and sort out some stuff, just so I can get this bike out of the road, go and Triumph and bits and pieces, just so I've got a bit more open and it's not sort of going to be in the road and get weld splatter and grinding marks and chat and shit and everything anyway. While I'm here, I've got my phone up on the little tripod I've got, sitting up on top of the old green car that looks a bit like a Model A, which is a rugby. And obviously if I need to shift it around, I've got to walk over there and manually do it. But I've been thinking, so I get a little bit of cash coming shortly. I badly need a new phone. My one's the one I'm filming on. It's about it's over 3 years old now. The screen's all cracked and broken. It's pretty beaten up. It's been apart probably, I don't know, a dozen times. Little repairs and bits and pieces over time. It's had a battery in it once. It's starting to fall apart. But anyway, it still works okay, but it's getting pretty shabby. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to order a new phone, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Just depends on when this money turns up my bank account. But in the next couple of weeks I'm going to order a new phone, and I'm actually going to order a little portable mic I can plug in through my headphone jack on the phone with a windsock on it. It's only a little one. I'll show you all these things when I get them, but so yeah, like if I'm going outside and it's a bit windy or something like that, you don't get all that frickin' wind noise, because that drives me insane. Because that little video we did when we pulled up beside that car, that would have been bloody handy, because you would have actually heard the car, not the wind, chopping all the noise down. And the other thing I'm going to get too is I'm going to get one of those little handheld gimbals for the phone as well, and I think I'm going to get a DJI Mobile 3, which is a couple $100 Kiwi. I think they're sort of somewhere between like $100 and $200, depending on which country you live in, and what part of the world, and obviously and what's the stuff. So, but it looks pretty cool because you can put an app on it, and I can put my phone up there on the little tripod with the gimbal on it, and set it to track me, and I can walk around here and it'll track me up to about 180 degrees or thereabouts. So that's going to be bloody handy, because it's annoying having to stop, shift this thing around and pick it up and move it around. Like, it's quite good if you want to take it from one side to the other side, if you want to look at the other side, but if you're just moving around, at least it's always going to keep you in the centre of the screen, and you can not have to shift it quite so often. Just to, if I've moved over there at a frame, at least it'll move around, then you can still see me. So that's going to be handy. So hopefully like as I said, in like another week or so, a couple of weeks, depending on how quickly this money drops into the bank account. I think the money should be in the bank this week, but maybe next week. Today's Monday. So if I get that money, I'm going to order those couple of things. Those three things anyway: phone, a microphone, and a motorised gimbal, which will be pretty cool, hopefully. And then I'll still use my old phone to do other stuff as well. Like I've got to sit it somewhere, like in a vehicle, if I'm doing bits and pieces. I'm not too panicked about getting weld splatter and shit on that. Like, it's pretty covered in it anyway. So I better use it for a bit more close-up shots and stuff like that. So I'm not too panicked about getting it covered in crap and shit. So I'll keep using this phone for certain shots that are up a bit closer, and I'll use the other one on the gimbal and stuff, and have it so like it's panning around and still seeing you. I might have both phones filming at the same time, and I'll just pick and choose what part of the scene I want. So yeah, that's something to look forward to. But now I'll set to and I'll get some stuff moved around here. I'll move that out, I'll park it over by the fence, and then I'll have just a small shuffle around in here and get it so I can maybe pull that Jag forward and work on that front guard, but also that white table that was behind the Jag before, I want to try and get that back up. So I'm going to get that paint, all the paint and stuff and everything's all stacked up now, so I'll try and find something a bit more, something better to put that paint in the meantime until we need it. So I want to try and get the paint stripped off those last little bit of welds up, and try to sort of start prepping the front end of this and the doors. I'm not going to worry about bolting the back on, but I just want to get everything sort of prepped, and I might put a skim of filler on and block them back off the car and get a couple of coats of high build or something on, and then when Dad and Mum get back in, I don't know however many weeks it takes them to come back, then we might pop the doors on. So once I sort of get that done and I run out of stuff to do for that, then I'll try and see if I can get this secret project sorted out in between times. See if I can get all the pieces together, see if I can find all the bits, because I know most of it's at my brother's place, but I know there's some in the container over there, so I need to try and figure out what I'm looking for so I can get it together and work out what I'm going to do there. So I'm going to do that while I'm trying to get this to sort of the next sort of stage, and then maybe Mum and Dad might be home, I don't know. But yeah, if I get the secret project sorted in the next couple of weeks, I'll start showing you bits and pieces, and we'll start working on that a bit too. But I'm also going to keep looking for work, so I need a better income. But yeah, if we get some people to click the subscribe button, like the 60% that are watching that aren't subscribing, at least they might actually start getting some money off YouTube. So I pretty much hit 1,000 subs straight away if everybody that watched clicked that subscribe button. So that would be nice, guys. So if you can do that, I'd really appreciate it. But at the moment I'm on pretty lean funds. Like, it's bloody great having this workshop and staying at Mum and Dad's, but until I can actually get some work, I can't actually get my own place and all those sorts of things. Hopefully, I don't know, maybe Arco and all that sort of stuff between me and him and everything. We're doing some research, trying to get some stuff sorted out. Maybe in the next few months I mightn't be here, but until that happens, like, it's still anybody's guess. So just working on a few things in the background. Unfortunately, travelling to the States and as a visitor, short term, easy. Like, even probably staying there a year is probably not that difficult. But anything longer than sort of 2 or 3 years, you try and get a visa for it, it's not easy. It gets more complicated the longer you want to stay. And to be honest, I would like to stay there permanently with the things that Arco and I are talking about. I quite often travel home here, maybe go to Australia and see Rachel's parents and stuff like that, but I'd like to permanently live in the States at this point. We'll see what happens. Right, we'll get this stuff out of the road and I'll stop flapping. That's the high build 2-pack primer we're going to put on the Jag. There you go, guys. Just turn that around a bit. Alright. There you go, guys, again. So I'm just getting ready to bug around with this front guard. But I've actually got to shoot away again in a couple of minutes. But I just want to show you what I'm doing here. And once I come back I'll start again, but I don't know if you can see. If I can get that little light in the right place and get the angles right. There's some light shining through the centre of that black dot there. I don't know if, I was trying to see if I actually see like that other hole. I can't see that one. One there in the middle of that. God. You get what I mean anyway. Like this odd little pinhole bits and pieces I missed when I first did this guard. So I need to go back around that and just have a tidy up, sort them out. You know, like I'm no expert welder, I'm still learning. And believe me, I've got a long way to go when it comes to welding panel steel. But I'm getting better and better and better and better and better. And the more you do it, the better you get. As people will tell you, like practice makes perfect. Or should do. Like you should, if you're not getting better, I guess you're doing something wrong. Like even guys that that thought they were like top notch 30 years ago, probably still doing it now, and think, geez, look at the work that I was doing years ago, and everybody that was probably looking at their 30-year-old work, probably going, geez, man, that was wicked, and you go, oh, I should see my work now. Like you're always improving all the time. You're learning new things. So, I'm self-taught. Like nobody's taught me to weld, apart from probably the brief instruction here and there, like years and years ago. But so I've got to come back around here, fix the bits I missed, and then we're sort of ready. And then what I'll do tomorrow or maybe the day after, depends on how quick I can get this done and how many interruptions I get. I'll push this closer to the door probably and start getting the wire wheel on here and start tearing more paint off here and get this sort of prepped. We're still going to put the inner arch in here, so I can't weld these down the back here yet, so but at least I'll get this prepped and I'll get this all stripped back. I'll get some etch on it, and then once we've got the inner arch in there with the inner guard piece in here, once Dad's back he'll probably do that, sort that out. I'll leave that to him, then we can weld that there around, and same on the other side. But I'll get this prepped, and I can probably body fill a lot of this, but I'll leave this area. I won't come back into this area. I might come down to probably in here somewhere like that, but I don't want to put too much in here before we weld that up. But like I can do all the rest of it, get it all and etch it all and then prime it all, or skim coat where it needs to be skim coated. Skim coat into here, try and get hammer hair and dolly some of these bits and pieces and just get them a little bit better, and all that sort of thing. And then skim coat it and block it back and get it right. And then I'll work on the doors and the front guard and all that sort of bits and pieces over the next few weeks when I get time, when I'm not doing other things. But yeah, and then we'll try and get back into this, see if I can get this other thing sorted. But I'll try not to repeat it too much, but you know what it's like when you're thinking and you're working and you're talking at the same time. Anyway, I'll better get myself sorted and go shoot away and do this little job, and then we'll be back and hopefully I'll get something welded on here. Right, so finally got back here a day later, and it's after lunch. I'm going to try and get some spot up some of this stuff. So I won't talk too much more because I've done plenty of that in this video, so I'll get to it. A quick question while I'm here and looking around. Just wondering, the guys that are watching that are actually making videos on YouTube and stuff as well, what are you filming on, and are you using like a PC or a laptop to edit your footage, and what sort of program are you using? Just wondering. Main reason I asked is because, you know, I can look and getting another phone, and I don't really want to go on a phone plan, so I'm not going to get an iPhone or anything like that, because it's just way out of my price range over here to buy a phone outright. And the only other reason I ask is because at the moment, as some of you probably know, I'm using the computer that I built probably 18 months ago now, I suppose, or might be quite that long, might be 12 months, or a bit over 12 months. I try to get as good as I could without, the reason I built it is because expandability. Later on, if I need a bit more horsepower, with video editing and stuff, like, and putting a few more bits and pieces in amongst it, which is what I'm starting to do now, and I'm just starting to notice that if I load a whole heap of files on and start layering up different things, like putting clips in, like little snippets of videos in, like over top of videos and bits and pieces, and layering up a bit of music and what sort of stuff, and speeding stuff up, the computer's getting, just when I'm trying to work in amongst the software that I'm using, which is Film Express, the computer's getting a bit laggy every now and again. It struggles to load it all. The computer I built, I can put a heap of RAM in that, but we've got 16 gigs at the moment, if you understand what I'm talking about. But I could go to 32, but I've only got a 4-core CPU at the moment, which is an AMD, but I could also, that's one of those things too, I can always upgrade to one of the slightly newer variants, and put heaps of cores in it, but I just can't afford to. But I'm just wondering what you guys are using, whether you're doing it on your phones or on a PC, and what programs you're using and what sort of computers you're using, just because I'm just trying to figure out why my computer's lagging so much. It shouldn't be really, but because when I went from a laptop just doing basic videos, I went from about 3 hours to like less than, sort of between 20 minutes to half an hour to do sort of like 15-20 minutes of footage, like to glue it all together once I'd sort of gone through and edited it all. But just with doing a bit more complex stuff and putting extra stuff on it, music and speeding stuff up and putting extra clips in there. It gets bogged down every now and again, and I just wonder if I need to, sort of what I need to do, or whether it's my editing program. I'm not 100% sure, so that's why I'm asking the question. But anyway, I'll carry on with it. We'll have a ride. I might just put an axle stand underneath it first before I climb underneath it. I don't need my legs chopped off. So what I'm going to do next, now I got that cleaned up, I did a little bit of work off camera, and there's a couple of holes in here. I just dressed this up a little bit. Still needs a little bit more work, but I'll do in the meantime until I can get this cleaned up. I was going to push it outside, but all I've done is I've just covered the tractors up with some covers and some sheets and stuff, just to try and get the worst of the dust off. And I'll just eventually just come around here and just blow it down and sweep up and whatever. Because I can't really get this thing running because all the dash is out and all the ignition, well, I know the ignition switches in it, but like I could put the battery back in it and twist around and try and get it in and out, but by the time you do that, you may as well just clean up your mess. So we'll get wire brush on here. I'll throw a mask on, ear mask and whatever, and get into this a bit. As Arco says, don't be a dumbass, you know. Mask, especially with this dusty crap, because nothing worse than it being in your lungs and you're coughing and spluttering later, and you've got, you know, who knows what it does to you later on in life. Excuse me a minute. Like I've had enough dealings with dust, with spreading fertiliser and stuff like that in trucks. Some of that real fine dust can actually get to you quite back quickly and badly. And you know, I'm gathering like all the crap from dust and paint, and you know, I don't know what sort of paint this is. But yeah, like these masks aren't terribly dear, or even just one of those other ones, like it's going to stop the worst of it from getting in. All I do is I just throw some of the older filters on when I'm not spraying. Ones that I've used for spraying, you know, quite a few times. Like I said, I think I've said this before, you can only use these so many times when you're painting 2-pack. So what I do is I take the older ones off and I spray and paint 2-pack, and when I'm doing dirty stuff like this, I just throw a couple of old filters on. It's still going to keep the crap out of your lungs, but you're not dealing with the, you know, with chemicals and stuff like that. So like they're not going to go through there. Well, the chemicals would start going through there after a while, because they don't work that well once I've had so many minutes or hours on them. So I just use them for dirty jobs after that, and then just swap to the good filters when I need to paint. So yeah, I'll get into this shortly and start tearing some paint off here. It's always good fun using a wire wheel, so yeah, bit of hearing protection, breathing protection, eye protection, which is all good for me. I use my glasses most of the time, but I find out 9 times out of 10 that does the trick. But one day I might invest one of those like face shields or something like that. I might just save my glasses a bit more too. Something else I might do actually, I might swap to my other glasses, so I'll go get my other glasses and I'll come back after I've had a drink or something like that, and we'll get into this. How you going, guys? I was going to get back out of here today, but I didn't get a chance to. Had some other stuff to end up doing that I sort of halfway forgot about. Just the day ran away with me, and so I decided I've been editing, and the minute the video's getting sort of creeping up sort of towards that 30-minute mark from just what I did yesterday and today. So I thought I'll cap this one off here, and I'll start tomorrow's one off with cleaning this stuff off and getting this prep for etch and whatever. So yeah, I just, because biggest problem with mum and dad being away, I've got no high speed Wi-Fi. I'm only just using my phone, and I get so many. I get about 2 or 3 gig each night after 5 or 6 o'clock, whatever it is, free every night. So I'm going to try and load my videos and try and keep them within that sort of couple of gig, 2 or 3 gig size, so at least I can get them up free and not scuffing into my normal data. So yeah, so I'll cut this one short-ish, and I'll start another one tomorrow, and hopefully in a couple of days we'll get another one up. And yeah, that's what I'll try and do. I'll try and keep my videos. I'll work it out. I'll try and keep them sort of between 20 and 30 minutes long. I'll work out roughly how many minutes I need to fill up my video so I can get them up within the free data. Yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys. Thanks.